Hello, 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 hello. Oh, hello. Let's hit the right button. Hello, guys. Happy Wednesday. I just saw Virginia. You said it's 81 degrees in Texas right now. It's 79 here in Georgia. Hello, hello. I am coming with the messy updo, like I often do in my membership group. They get to see me at my finest. But it's been a busy day. I had some deadlines that I got done, knocked out of the park. One of them's over there. Can't really share the whole thing, but I thought if I left some of it showing, you could see. But I am going to be live on another group this month with this amazing artist and her people. So, hello, Pat and Kay. Kay, no problem. You won last night, so I will get those shipped off to you tomorrow. I had no time today. I had a couple of orders that I had to get filled to get shipped out, and so, but the giveaways for the last couple of nights, I have not gotten packed up. Thank you, Janet. So let's kind of start over. So I'm Sandy McTeer. Welcome into my studio. For, let's see, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, 4 nights in a row, right? I know who that's for. I will see you there. Oh, do you, Dixie? Oh, I can't wait. It's so cute. So cute. I'll be able to share more information when she says I can, but as soon as it's out there, I definitely will. Fix my silly cushion here. 46 in Maine. Oh my goodness, Pat, that's cold. It's cold. So, hello, Virginia and Patricia and Sandy and Lucy and Kathy and Virginia and Janet. Oh my goodness, and Mary and Melinda. So many of you guys on. Let's see over here on YouTube. So we are, hello, Holly and Kay and Pat and Monty and Letitia and Kay and Sue, different Kay, Sue, Carol. So good to see you guys on. Again, thanks for joining me. Make sure to like, comment, and share with your creative peeps so they can come join us. Like I said, I had just deadlines, crazy busy today, but was able to manage to, I was able to get some things done that needed to be done in my studio, because have you guys been there where you have so many things going on and you come in and you're just like, where do I start? So the place that I needed to start with is right here. My workplace had gotten so crazy after the last 3 nights that I had to take some time to get in here and straighten and clean. But at the same time, I had so many other things that needed to be done. So it's just that, that to-do list and what needs to be done right now. And when my creative space is in a chaos, I'm in a chaos. So to be able to come to you guys live tonight with some fresh ideas and a little bit more energized, I needed to clean my space up today. Are you guys like that, or can you live in clutter? So I love things. I'm sentimental about things. I love to collect craft supplies and paint and surfaces. But I've gotten much better. I have to say, I think the pandemic cured me of that, of having to have every single thing all the time. Especially when you go to conventions, you're like, I need, 10 of these surfaces. No, you don't. Because I can always order them later if I need it. Anyway, hello, Becky from Harlem. So good to see you on. And Marianne and Carol and Janet and Suzanne. Totally, I can't function. It is, the thing is, when it's in chaos, I'm in chaos. So if it's not at least tidy enough where I can see things, I really should have taken pictures the last 3 days to share with you guys, because it's been an absolute wreck. but a good wreck. So my husband, I wouldn't say he's a minimalist, but he is a tidier, and he doesn't like things out. So he's learned to live with some of my things here and there, but I need to get better. Hello, Janet, and Chris, and Betty, and Sharon. I need my painting area straightened out. The rest of my room can look like a cyclone hit it for a bit, right? Yes. The other side of my room looks like that right now. But here, we're pretty tidy. So I needed that. It's you again. It's me again, Janet. Now I can come into yours, Robin. I would love to. I'm much better at cleaning other people's homes or spaces than my own. I can discern what needs to be thrown out or but when it comes to my stuff, I'm like, no, I might need that. I might need that for that project that I'm going to do in 10 years. The McTears are some of the best people. Thank you, Becky. I totally agree. I was telling them the other day, so it's May 1st, but on the 28th, I had my blind date with my husband, and actually got married in Japan. And his mom, my beautiful, sweet mother-in-law, that passed during the pandemic, and my brother-in-law, Michael, came over to Japan for the wedding. And it was calving season. They have a farm in Augusta, so he wasn't able to come, my father-in-law. And then my sister-in-law and brother-in-law weren't able to come over because they both had teaching jobs. So anyway, so when I came home after getting married to their brother and their son, they got to meet me. But anyway, my studio has limited space and clutter makes it impossible, right? The thing is, when I was in my dining room, I had a small little table area, and I had other things, but as a creative consultant for Deco Art, I also have one of each of their products. So when we did this addition to close in our, a deck, this is my big studio space. For the longest time when our boys were home, it was the music space with full drum set, amps, guitars, whatever, and I loved it. I loved to listen to them play. But we made the decision a couple years, I think 2 years ago, that the drums were going in the attic. Until one of them gets a house and they can move the drums, they're going to be in the attic. So, but in my dining room, I had to keep that space tidy as well, because again, there was so much product. So anyway, I did not get my hair cut. It's just up in a little messy ponytail bun thing, because to be honest with you girls, I need to wash my hair. I would love a studio. I paint with my china in the dining room. I totally understand that, Terry. Again, I used to paint in my dining room, but I would always meander out to the kitchen counter, because that's kind of the hub, right, of our homes. And so I could do laundry and take care of the dishes. And when the boys came home from school, or if I needed to go get them, I could leave everything out on the kitchen counter. So I do kind of miss that, because I do love standing. Let's put this hair down. I do love to stand and paint. When I sit and paint, I think it looks ugly. But that's just me. So Janet just finished redoing her painting studio with IKEA furniture. Love it, right? Hi, Eileen. So I was fading this afternoon when my husband did the post office run for orders. I was like, please go get me a Diet Coke. I know it's late, but please. Hello, Cindy Braden. I sent you an email today. Did you get that? Your order's ready to go out. Hi, Lori Coates. So good to see you on. I am working this month on some things that I should have gotten to you guys a year ago. My friends in Tennessee. It's been a crazy year, right? Crazy busy for me especially. But Before a craft show, it's scary. Oh, Veronica, believe me, I totally can relate. You got your Happy Meal today? So good. Oh, I'm awesome. Oh, that's awesome. I hope you put those brushes to good use. Is that a new bee pattern? Well, I can't really say much about it until I can say things about it, but yes. So on the 14th of May, I'm going to be live on another group. And I have to find out, I'm not sure if it's an open group or if you have to be a member to be a part of that group or if you can just request to be a part of that group. Once I find out all those details, I will let you guys know. Jazz hands, I'm speaking with my hands today. I stole the family, kind of small. Yeah, I never join Wednesdays, but happy to be here. Hi, Mona. This is my first Wednesday in a year. Because I am live all this week talking to you guys. The doors to my membership group opened on Sunday. They close on Friday. And so I have been doing lives Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then again tonight. I'll be live tomorrow at 8. I will be live Friday at 8. And the doors to my membership group close on Friday at midnight. And after that, you will not be able to join until later this year. Okay. I love the bee ski with those. Oh, I love, yes. So this one that I did with on a Sunday live. Oh my gosh, what was that, like 3-4 weeks ago? And then the one up there is super cute. So they designed it, I painted it, and I'm going to share it in the group. So, again, when I can give you more information about that, I will. So, oh my goodness. I did see your comment, Sue, but it looks like it went away. Love how you're getting to see so much of you this week. Going to have withdrawals next week. I have some chaos, but my magazines and books are shelved. My downloads, printouts have outgrown their space, right? I totally understand. We're going to talk about that a little bit tonight, okay? Just about like your patterns and the line drawings and the things that you have. Hello, Linda Honeycutt, one of my newest members. So glad that you're here. We still have a few people that have joined the membership group. I've had an itchy nose all day. Things are blooming. And in Middle Georgia, my allergies were the absolute worst last year than they've ever been. But I have had an itchy nose all day. So anyway, hello, Dawn. But yeah, we'll talk about line drawings and patterns and seeing things differently. Then you're missing your blending Band-Aid, right? I'm missing both of them because I won't put that finger up. Because I was so busy today and I finally just ripped them off. I'm like, I cannot do this. I need the touch of my fingers. So yeah, you're going to have to look at 2 fingers with no Band-Aids on them. And hopefully tomorrow, the first day that I don't have a deadline that has to be due until Friday, I'm going to go get my nails done. So I am smack dab in the middle of the state, Linda. I am in Byron, Georgia, which is just south of Macon, Georgia. So if you go up 75, I am at the Byron exit. So anyway, not sure if you're in Florida. I know your daughter is, but not sure if you are. But yeah, right smack in the middle of the state. Smack dab in the middle of the state. It is Letitia. It is. So on YouTube, she said, is that with so-and-so? And it is. It's super cute. I can't wait to show the whole thing. Hello, Norma Luther. So good to see you on. Okay, Linda. Yeah. So, I used to drive down once a month to go to Claremont and work once a month, and I loved it. I would get in my car, drive for 5 hours, have my music on, sing as loud as I wanted to. Nobody would tell me to be quiet. So we are 2 hours from Valdosta and 2 hours from Atlanta. So again, smack dab in the middle of the state. Oh my goodness. So, all right, it's 8:15. What is involved in joining your membership group? This is my first visit with you. Your brother-in-law makes awesome molasses cookies. Okay, Becky, if you think he makes awesome molasses cookies, you should taste my husband's. They're both Oma's recipe. So let me just tell you in a nutshell about my membership group. I'm going to put this up so that you can see it. If you go to my website, sandymcteardesigns.com, I'll go ahead and tell you up front, the pictures below the information do not show current stuff because I have not loaded current stuff. But joining my membership group, you can join monthly, you can join yearly. Yearly is $295, monthly is $34. So joining yearly is a much better deal because you get a lot of lessons for less, right? So there are almost 100 and I would say 85 to 190 lessons in my group right now. We do everything from decorative painting to mixed media to art journaling. We do tips and tricks and techniques that I've learned and loved or have come up with that I get to share with my group. We also have quarterly Zoom classes. So we just did this past week, we did shoes, painted on shoes. And so my members got to paint whatever they wanted. I gave them some options and line drawings, but I gave them those, that line drawing that I had done for some shoes with Dynasty Brush. The quarterly Zoom classes are free in addition to our monthly Zoom classes. And basically it's an opportunity for me to be able to see their face and them to be able to see other members, put names to faces, chit chat, just get to know each other. It is a fantastic group of ladies that are supportive and encouraging. It is a mentorship, it's education. It is a lot of painting, a lot of technique, a lot of teaching, a lot of sharing about me and my life that I don't share anywhere else. Other than with family and friends, of course, but, things that on my Sunday lives that I do. Last night I went live in my pajamas. I would probably never do that on a Sunday live. But I did last night to show you guys that there are many times with my membership group that my hair is up in a ponytail. I am in my pajamas, sometimes no makeup, and we get to chit chat and get to know each other and encourage each other and support each other. And so, yeah. And you get the best discount on my website than anybody else. Definitely worth the price. Sandy goes all out for her tribe. Thank you, Virginia. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you, Robin. So Robin Richard on Facebook and Chris Avola just put the link. Listening while driving. You be careful, Loretta. 45 minutes from Claremont. South or north from Claremont? I used to go to Winter Garden too, to go to my friends, Katie and Bob, that had Bear With Us, which is no longer, sadly. So, all right, let's see. I don't like Big Brother's cloud. I save files and photos duplicated on 3 external drives. Oh my goodness, no reason not to be comfortable, right? Yeah. So if I can go live in my pajamas and put my hair up and not have to, well, it's not that I don't want to wash it. I don't want to blow dry it and fix it. So that's my thing. And I keep telling my husband every day, I'm like, okay, I think I'm going to wash my hair. Nah, not tonight. It kind of looks okay. Not tonight. I'm going to throw it up in a ponytail. So used to live in Claremont and Winter Garden. Oh, Loretta, learning all these things about you. I love both areas. So hello, Helen. Okay, real quick. So on Facebook, and again, it's the first name that I see that pops up on my computer screen. So if you're seeing something different, I can only tell you what I'm seeing. So a free e-packet of your choice, please message me and let me know. Your hair is gorgeous, long, and fabulous. Thanks, Dixie. I appreciate that. Right now it's a little bit of a hot mess, but it's up and I don't care. Messy hair, don't care. Tomorrow's another glorious hair day. Okay, anyway, so message me on Messenger, Facebook, whatever. Go to my website, hit the contact button. So a free e-packet of your choice. The first person that I saw on Facebook, Kathy McAllister, and on YouTube, Holly Rourke. So if you ladies will message me and let me know what free e-packet you want on my website right now, I will get that sent to you. Alrighty? So the Mac updates wiped out the external hard drive. Da 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 da. That's very techy. It's 8:20. We need to get busy because I have some fun things I want to share. Okay, so I had some lives. Right here on my screen, it says live. So I said the word. Can you tell I'm tired? It was another insomnia night. Okay, so I have new stencils that I want to share. And we have 3 giveaways from last night. We have 3 giveaways from this night, for this night. I will announce those tomorrow. Hello, Molly Ann. Oh, you're so welcome, Holly. So let's come right down here. Ooh, I want to turn that over so they don't see it. So these are some new stencils. So this one I love. It's got squares and circles and it's kind of 60s, right? I don't know. When I saw this and first cut it, I was like, it kind of looks like a 60s vibe. I do love this one though. It is a bunch of circles that have just great dimension. So you can make that a sphere. Anyway, so again, circles. This one, which is almost like a quilt square. I know you love that one, Chris, right? Hi, Helen. Hi, Connie. Good to see you guys on. Okay. And then this one was just geometric shapes, diamonds, in all different directions and triangles. So I've got 2 of those going out. And the first set goes out to Dawn Davis. Dawn, my Jersey friend. So Missouri Star. Yes, that is that one, right? I loved that. So, okay, Dawn Davis, you're getting a set of those. And hope you sleep tonight. Me too, Amy. I haven't slept in like 3 nights. Susan D. Rogers. So, y'all ladies, message me. Let me know your mailing address. I will get these sent out to you. I'm going to move them to the side. I have 3 new stencils tomorrow. Excited about those. Okay, so let's just kind of recap. So last night we did the peacock feather. So what I did, I had done this in blue originally, so I did gesso over it, and I put copper. Okay, so let's see if you can see some of that metallic. Hopefully on it, and then also the these little parts of the feather that come up, I did metallic luster. So have you guys used metallic luster this way? If not, I want to share this with you. Okay. Again, these are things that I do with my membership group that as I find and see that I can use a product differently, I love to share that with them. So DecoArt Metallic Luster. It's a wax metallic finish that you can use on furniture, raised bits. It just brings out this glorious, beautiful shine, okay? There's very little wax in it. So it's more of like a creamy paste. So, but I just want to show you that this does more than any paint could ever do for you. I mean, look at the pigment in that metallic luster, right? It is shiny. It is amazing. I used it on my my piece that I did for my 2024 word on this metal drawer pull. Okay, and so I was going to buff it up again so that you could see, but look how that goes on that metal. So you can apply it with a brush, you can apply it with your finger. I'm kind of tired, so my tongue and my brain probably won't work so great tonight. But anyway, you can take a soft paper towel. I love metallic luster. You can, with a brush, yes, you can put metallic luster on with a brush. So I'm going to show you. Now, the thing is, this is not a permanent product, but you could buff it to a sheen, and right there it makes it more permanent. See how little is coming off? You just buff it to a nice little sheen. You could put a varnish on it if you want to. If I were to do a varnish on here, I would use the soft touch varnish because it's not matte, it's not gloss, it's not satin. It's going to leave it exactly the way it is. All right. So, but metallic luster can be thinned with water. So let me get an angle brush because I did it last night and then I thought, oh, I have to show you guys this. So if you have metallic luster, and I wish I had grabbed one that maybe was dry. If you have one that has dried and it's cracked, boil some water. Slowly add the water to it and use a palette knife to mix it up. It will reconstitute, okay? So while this is a waxy paste, I would say more of a paste than wax. It's got, it's highly pigmented. You can use it like a liquid. So all you have to do is add a little water to it. And before I close the lid, I'll let that evaporate so that it doesn't mildew or anything. Just swiped it across a paper towel. But you can slide that on and get that beautiful metallic. It is like no other. It's something that a paint really doesn't do justice. Incredible product. My favorite is the White Frost, the Lavish Green. I know that they have recently discontinued some colors, but yes, I just saw a question. Can you use it with stencils? Absolutely. So let's dry this and I'll show you how you can use it with some stencils. And maybe we'll just do it on this piece. So I think I will use that one. That'll add a nice little metallic look to that piece, right? So again, this was last night, just a very simple mixed media piece. I did come back and added that metallic copper up here, some of the metallic luster here, some of the metallic luster to the feather, and the copper. Remember I said in my membership group, I shared with them how to create words and sentiments on and make their own stickers that they can cut out and use. So I had done this one and cut it out. So these are basically full sheet labels. So when you print that, and I printed mine on my laser machine, you can always take your file to an office shop or whatever if you don't have a laser. But anyway, you can cut them out. It becomes an automatic sticker. And that's exactly what I did. And I cut it up and then shaded around it. Okay. But let's use this one. Nice that it doesn't smudge, right? I totally agree. Okay. So we'll lay that there. Question, your painted pieces have a unique luster to them. Is that the media paint you use? Can I have this? Yes, you can. Again, I tend to finish all of my pieces with Duraclear Soft Touch Varnish. And that really brings up the color and it makes your page or your surface, whatever you are painting on, feel like leather. So I highly recommend that Soft Touch Varnish. All right. And it also has gesso or matte medium on the base. So, okay. So if I lay this one here and I'll run my finger over that paste. I mean, look at the pigment load in that. That is just insanely amazing. And so you can run it through a stencil, and I don't want it to be perfect. I kind of want it to taper off. Oop, let's get into the camera, Sandy. But do you see that? Oh, I'm so glad you asked that question, because I think it's the perfect thing that this piece needed. So we'll add a little there, we'll add a little below. Now, it will reconstitute with water. Okay, so if I'm like, I'm not sure that I like that one, you can wipe it out. I remember I was at the Hoot Painting Convention. Oh my gosh, I don't even know what year it was, 2018 maybe, 2017. And one of the ladies came in and she was looking for something, and her husband was with her, and he was bored out of his mind. So I was sharing metallic luster and a couple other things, and he goes, "What is that?" And so I showed him, and he goes, "Well, I do watercolor." And I said, "Oh, let me show you what you can do with this." So a brush with water. You can thin it down to a liquid to where it's almost a metallic paint, but it has such incredible pigment that you can paint with it. I mean, how amazing is that? You can paint with it. And it gets that shimmer, those mica flakes in there. It's a unique blend of waxes, metallic mica flakes. It just gives you the most metallic finish, I think, of anything. So one of my favorite go-to products. The other thing I do with it, and I know that's wet on the back, is I like to splatter it. You can splatter with it. Okay, you can splatter with it just like you would with the paint. It's reconstituted from that paste form. And then I'm just going to let it sit for a second. Again, you'll want to wipe off your stencil. It's so pigmented. I mean, it is just, I can't even describe it. I mean, look, I just rubbed my finger twice. And but again, you can use it on raised things. You can use it on, let's move that for a second and get this. Again, over stencils. You can use it on modeling paste and get the raised bits on frames, really ornate frames. I'm not going to do all that, but I do want to show you. So you can kind of get all those little intricate designs and pieces in a stencil. And then that even, wet your finger and get that paint off right onto your leaf or whatever. Okay, now with that, I'm going to take a paper towel and just lightly press it. So what that did is, let me see if I can hit the light. Do you see how those dots glisten and shimmer and shine? Oh my gosh, it's one of my favorite products on the planet and so undervalued. Think of hummingbird, the throat on a hummingbird, the wings on a dragonfly, the wings on a dragonfly. I mean, look at that shimmer and shine on that dragonfly. Now, I do like my dragonfly wings to be a little more blue, and they've got a gorgeous turquoise, which I did not grab. But again, you can use that on the body. Remember, we did our centers with a little bit of green. You can kind of tap a little bit of green there. It will move. You can varnish over it. You can spray varnish, brush varnish. Again, when you buff it, it becomes a little more permanent, but it's not 100% permanent because you can scratch it off. It's my go-to. I absolutely love that metallic. Alrighty, let's move that out of the way. So this is one of the pages I was kind of recapping. So last night we did this. And I love that metallic luster. I put it on the feathers, and that's why I wanted to share it with you. But I do love the addition of the splatter and just another little decorative element. But again, so simple, right? Such a simple piece that we did last night. So I'll move that out of the way. The two that we did the backgrounds for on when Sunday, and then Monday night we did the designs. Like I mentioned, those in my membership group have the line drawings for these, so I can't wait to see what you guys do with them. And then last night I was with my membership group and we finished this, and then I came live with you guys to do the peacock feather and simple mixed media backgrounds. My favorite decor art product. Right, Carol? It really is such an undervalued product. In fact, so much so that I think I know I have this one. I might just do an extra giveaway tonight, okay? Like, comment, share. Extra giveaway, I will do the white frost. This was brand new. If I don't have another brand new green, you see how little I used. I might just throw both those in for an extra giveaway. Oh, I will. Okay. But if I have a new green, I will throw that in. Just so you don't get it and you're like, this is used. Hello, Peg. No worries. Hello, Denise. Thank you. Would you have to spray it to set it before you brush varnish? Not necessarily. You can take that, and so I'll just take this piece, and it dries really quickly. What I do before I varnish over it, if I've used metallic luster, is I will take a paper towel and see how just a little bit of it came up. I will take a paper towel and that really kind of seals it, but it also brings up the shine and the sheen of that product. And then you can brush right over it. Now, I wouldn't sit there and brush 10 times over it. I would brush over it and keep moving, let it dry, brush it, and keep moving. Okay? Polymer clay. It is amazing on polymer clay. Love that you said that, Dawn. It's a fantastic, incredible product. Do these projects start Sunday? So Denise, I started on Sunday just opening my membership group and sharing how you can join that. On Sundays, I do Sundays in the studio with Sandy, and we do all different types of lives. Sometimes I have, a new project or design out, and I share that. Otherwise, this week we are live all week sharing about my membership group. And you can find out how to join that right there on my website. The doors close on Friday. They will not open until the end of the year. Not the end of the year, later in the year. And if you want access to 185 to 190 plus lessons, plus, I need to tell you guys this because I know I forgot a couple names the other day when we talked. I have guest lessons. I haven't done a guest lesson in a long time. I did last year when I got sick, and Lana Lamb filled in for me, which was amazing. But I've had Lana Lamb, Tracy Morrow, Deb Antonig, Marian Andrezzi, Kat Kerr, Holly Hanley, Erica Joanne, they say Kathy Hansen, Marco Aguilar. We've had some awesome guest lessons. So in addition to what I do and what I share, I also do free lessons, freebies, free e-packets, and I put those things in the group as well, in addition to our free quarterly Zoom classes, which we've done everything from the grapes you see on the wall to the things that I've shared the last couple of days to the shoes that we just did last week, and everyone painted different. It was just amazing. So, all right, let's go here because I wanted to talk tonight about decoupage. Thanks for showing all the uses. Janet Roach, thank you for the stars. Oh, you're so sweet. That's going to go to World Central Kitchen. Appreciate that. And I did get another email today saying if you join monthly and then you decide that you can't do it for a couple months. Unfortunately, you won't be able to rejoin until the next time I open the doors. So I wanted to talk to you about decoupage because yesterday I mentioned that I have this paper that my friend Janet Roach sent me that is absolutely stunning. And it is Papers for You. Let's see if they've got a website. It's made in Spain. And Janet, if you want to just pop in the comments maybe where you got that from, because you sent it pretty quick after I shared the live I did on my Facebook page and YouTube on one of my Sundays in the studio. Remember, I had a butterfly, but I changed it to a bee. And this paper, my friend Christy, when we were in Germany, she went and got this paper for me. I needed it for just demo. And so she got this Papers for You. Anyway, I am loving this and most likely will create with that tonight. In fact, I am going to create with that tonight. But what I wanted to show you is other ways that you can decoupage, okay? Or think about decoupaging. So this card came to me from my mom. And I don't know if you can see it, but the umbrella is dimensional. And the girl. So basically what I did is I took this greeting card that I got and I just fussy cutted it out, decoupaged it onto my page with my matte medium, and then extended. So this is the card. But then I extended that onto my journal page, added some stencils, a little, couple words. So that was one. This was another one that I did with my membership group. Oh my gosh, 3 years ago, I think. This was a word from a magazine. So when you're thinking about, where do I have that? I know I put it there. Where's it at? I don't know where it's at. But basically, I grabbed a magazine, like a high-end magazine. Anyway, this was in a magazine, and I just cut that out and then created around that. So when you're looking through magazines, look at words that you like or letters that are all different. Kind of like those ransom notes. I'm not saying that. But anyway, you can decoupage those onto your creative mixed media pieces, right? Oh, thank you, Janet. She just posted over on Facebook how you can get those pages or that paper. Okay, let me see if I had one there. So that was a card that I had used here. Okay, so these I created, again, magazine, right? And then I went to my Birds in Bloom magazine that I used to subscribe to, and I cut out some flowers and a bird, and basically gave them a headdress, and created a whole background and page around them. So love both of those. I have to say, I think that was like one of our first YouTube or Zoom classes live with the group. So again, taking things out of a magazine, whether it's words or using old greeting cards and using those to create with, is a great way to use things differently. Old calendar pages, yes. We get calendars all the time every year, and I love to tear and take things out of those. So another great thing. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about in my group, so we've talked about, okay, this is an art journal page, but let's say it's an ornament or a Christmas piece that you're working on, and you want to do holly, okay? So I've shown step by step how you can do this cluster of holly. So when you take it out of your mind that this isn't an art journal, this is a decorative painted piece that whether you have any decorative painting experience, you can do watching the video and the lesson that I share. The other thing is look beyond this page and what you see with the two-tone background. and how cool that is. So again, looking at the lesson beyond the lesson and seeing the things that we do with our backgrounds, with our foregrounds, with our design, and laying those things out. Okay, so in my group, that's one thing that I tend to stress is don't just look at it for what it is, look beyond what it is and see what it could be. All right, this is another one that I did with Chris Hoy in the, I think it was Christmas Fest, and the bokeh background. I think that was probably like the first time I did the bokeh background, which was like pre or right at the pandemic. This one I was sharing with my group how to take a design that you see. So from a florist website, a basket of flowers. And so look for a basket. Look for the flowers that you want to put in it. So poinsettias is what I did, and it was Christmas time, so I did pine cones and evergreen and leaves. And anyway, basically shared with them how you can take pieces and parts of stock-free photographs. Now, if someone posts a photo on Pinterest or on the internet, that does not give us free rein to do what we want to do with it. All right. The shape of a basket is the shape of a basket. There's no copyright on the shape of a basket. The shape of a poinsettia is the shape of a poinsettia. So if I use the shape of a poinsettia that I see online, but I put it totally different into a design, I'm not using and copying that photograph. You've got to be really careful about taking inspiration from photos because, again, they have just as many copyright laws as we do as artists. So, okay. The next one I wanted to show you was in my group last month, I think the month before. They all run together, right? It's been a long year since 2020. But anyway, we did layered stencils. So just taking something as simple as a diamond background, circles from my circle maker, which I shared with you guys, right? You can get these at Michael's. Butterflies that I have a stencil for, and how you can layer. So let's do this one. I'm not going to paint it because I don't know if I have that stencil here, which would be a little surprising because it's my favorite stencil. I do. But laying that there and then popping that stencil underneath it. Okay, so layering your stencils. How do I not remember this one, Linda? I don't know. Oh, that's a fantastic tip. So Melinda said she buys calendars at the Dollar Tree, cheap. Yes, and they always have great graphics and stuff that you can use in mixed media. I'll have to find this one and tag you in it. So it looks over on YouTube. Are you guys all still with me? It looks like the comments stopped like a long time ago. So just let me know that you're here. Okay. Alrighty. The other thing I wanted to share and show was that we take our lessons, like I mentioned, outside of our art journal. So, books from the Dollar Tree. And this one I've already sanded the top of it. And this was my second one I started. And so in my group, I shared how you can do, we did backgrounds, and then you could put different things on it. That one was done with a brayer. Remember I shared the other day about texture. That right there is metallic luster through drywall tape. Okay, how awesome is that? That one needs to be sanded and gessoed. And then I think, yep, that one too. But the first one I had done, same book, but I loved this one because it had tabs. And could you not see like doing a dimensional butterfly, a bee? You know, you could do dimensional things on there. So that one has butterflies, that one has dragonflies, bees. But basically, just like we do in our art journal or on a mixed media piece on a wood surface, I created in this book. Doesn't have to be elaborate. It can be super simple. Tim Holtz stamp. And I didn't even do hardly anything with that, but a little shading. Drew out a girl, did her with some of the embossing ink pad from Tim Holtz, Ranger. Oh my gosh, I love that. And then need something, this has some of that metallic luster or shimmer on it that you can see. Kind of has to hit the light perfectly. But anyway, so some of the same papers we used the other day on the mixed media piece. Oh, there's some more of that metallic right there on the wings and the background. So I bought my books and that's it. That's okay, because I have about 50 books over there. So I will, Chris, I will tag you in that one. It was either a Tip Tuesday or a Technique Thursday about layering stencils. Okay, great. Thank you guys for commenting over on YouTube, because I thought everyone had left me. Okay, so we're going to play and create. I'm going to use this board, and I'm going to find my paper that fell on the floor. So let me pick that up. This paper I got from Janet. So this is kind of like a masonite gesso panel from JRC. These are amazing. So that's where you can look to find them. I think this is a 10 by 10. Even though it's gessoed, I am going to give it a little bit of tooth and just a little bit of texture. So I love texture, if you've not been able to tell. So anyway, I'm just going to kind of slap this on, let it pick up where it does. Again, it's going to add a little texture to that. This is like a rice paper. It's absolutely stunning. Okay, I don't want it too thick because it's going to take too long to dry. I'm going to move that paper out of the way too, because I'm going to add some color and stuff to it before we get started. Okay, so let's take a baby wipe and let's get that. You want to get that right off that edge of that gesso. I'm using the DecoArt Media gesso. It is my go-to gesso. Absolutely love it. Oh, totally, Robin. Those colors are my jam too. That dragonfly page is one of my absolute favorites. In fact, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I might have done it on a Sunday Live, or, well, I did this one with my membership group, but I thought I did a Sunday Live. And this one has the metallic luster, yeah, again, right by the body. I don't know if you can see that. But stamps, stencils, decoupaging some words on. Here I am not drawing anything. A few little marks with paint. I mean, it's just simple but fun. And again, allowing yourself to play. Get out of the thinking that it has to be in an art journal, because it can be on any surface at all. Thank you, Sue. Thanks, Denise. Thanks, Rebecca. I saw your pictures with your dogs, and I'm thinking, does she walk them or do they walk her? Those are some big dogs. Okay. So I just want to get this nice and dry. The thing with these gesso boards, they can get a little slick, so it's got a fantastic finish. It depends on what it is that you're painting on it. But I typically will either scuff it up with a little sandpaper or put my own gesso on it to get some texture so that it's not so smooth. Alrighty, let's get this. I didn't put it on too thick, but it's not drying so great. How many journals have you filled? Oh my goodness, Peg. I think I showed my my stack. I will do that tomorrow. I'll show you my stack. Now, before starting my membership group, I used to do front and back because I was doing a page a day. And that lasted for about, I don't know how many months. And then life just got in the way. Things got in the way with work. And so, and I say work loosely because this is my work. But I would do both sides. With my membership group, I tend to just do the one side because, of course, I want the page to be pristine and new and not have any other marks on it, whereas sometimes when you paint on the other side, you might get a little bit of paint that you've got to get off. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 11 that I see right now. And again, having done like 100 and probably 80 lessons with my group, that's a lot of pages, right? All right, so that's dry. It's a little warm to the touch, so I'm going to give it a second just to kind of cool down. And we're just going to put some paint on it. I think I'm going to grab one of my favorites. This is an old color, but Americana Red Violet. I think I'm going to put a little bit of that. Move my mouse. Put that on. It's beautiful. Love that color. And I might use some light buttermilk. Again, I really don't have anything in my head. I'm just going to play and create. It's one of my favorite things to do, to wing it. In fact, I told my husband this morning, he goes, "What are you doing tonight?" I'm like, "I don't know." I said I was going to do some decoupage, so I know I'm doing that. But other than that, I don't know. And that's fun. I know it can be quite scary too, but it is fun. Found it, Linda, in the group. February 22, 2024. Thank you so much, Chris. Yes, I knew it was a couple months ago. Okay, so I'm going to pick up, when I did the light buttermilk, remember I told you when that clear stuff comes out of your bottle, don't waste it. Use it. It will make a great blending gel, or you can use fast dry glazing medium, a little bit of water. The thing with using water and paint is you never want to water it down so much that it loses its adhesion. So just be mindful of that. So this is light buttermilk, and I just kind of slap on the whole background. But look at that cool texture. Can you see the texture from the gesso? It's almost like a stucco. So it's just going to give some really pretty texture where we see it, okay? You probably won't see a lot of it, but and I'm going to rinse that out. I'm going to switch brushes because I want to be able to control a little bit more where I put this. So that was a 1-inch flat. This is a 3/4 flat. And this one has seen better days, so let me get a different one. Okay. So I'm just going to get it wet, dry it off. And while it's wet, I'm going to use this red violet. Just kind of slap it here and there. I know that peony's got some pink and some of these colors in it, so I'm just kind of thinking about a background that would look pretty with that paper over it. I'll probably put some green in there, maybe a little asphaltum. But I'm just kind of slip-slopping back and forth. The other thing when I'm here in my studio by myself and I'm winging it, it's a totally different winging it than when I'm winging it with y'all, because I want my winging it with y'all to look the absolute best. Whereas when I'm home and I'm winging it, I can step away, I can put it up till the next day. That's not the case when I do it live. So always just a hope and a prayer that it's going to be fine and well. All right, let's dry that. That is a fantastic tip. So Virginia said she paints on only one side, and on the reverse side of her page, she makes swatches and lists the paint colors she used. That is brilliant. I love that. And Janet Grope in Colorado, who's an OG in our group, she's been there since the very beginning. She does one side, but she'll take 2 pages and glue them together. So, I mean, just kind of a little multed background. Kind of give it that dry test, because before we put that matte medium on there, we definitely want that to be dry. Move my styrofoam cup. Okay, so I am going to use, and when you use any kind of collage paper, let me just show you real quick, guys. I shared this in my membership group after one of my members said, hey, can I share this? I just saw these. Teresa, who I adore. These are some fantastic collage ephemera books. You can find these on Amazon. So just kind of capture the name, okay, and the artist. But they are filled with so many pictures that you can cut out and use in your art. So I might keep that butterfly one handy. These fairies are absolutely adorable. And then the flowers, oh, so up my alley. Stunning, right? So many different things. And the paperweight is nice that you could cut it out and use in mixed media, art journaling, even your decorative painting, people. You can use all of it. There are no rules, right? Okay, so I am going to move my paint so that I don't get my paper into it. And I want to put this here, and I do want, I think I want this flower there. Okay, so I'm just going to use my fingernail to kind of get the shape, but one of the best ways to tear this type paper, it's a rice paper, is with water. Okay, now this is pretty translucent. I mean, I don't know if you can see my hand through it. I can with the light. So you're going to be able to see some of that color in the background. So that's why I wanted to do a like color. But we're going to get a brush, get it wet. Thank you, Chris Avola. She put the link over on Facebook. I said that the other day, and someone said, the link's where? So, yes, we are streaming on YouTube and Facebook. So, over on Facebook, Chris Avola put that link. But if you use water, just go down the sand. So, I'm using an angle brush just so I can use the chisel edge of that brush. And then we'll just do a little bit at the end, the bottom here. Okay, and then let's tear. So I always like to hold my fingers over areas, like I don't want to chop off the top of that flower, right? So if I hold my fingers there, and I will use this for something else, however, I might use that, because that's really pretty. Okay, and then here, I don't really care. Again, I don't want this flower to go anywhere, but the fibrous edge that you get, and I don't care if it is a complete 10 by 10. It might be short, and I'm hoping that it is, because you're going to get that torn edge. It's absolutely gorgeous paper. The other one I had gotten for my focus page and my piece that I did for the year with my word of the year, Kathy McAllister sent me. That's redesign, what is it, Prima, redesigned by Prima, and she does sell that on her website or their papers. So Kathy, if you're here, you can go ahead and pop that in. No problem, Chris. Totally understand. It's hard to do it on both, but thank you. Okay, so, oh, that fibrous edge is just everything. Is this not beautiful? Okay, let's get our wood piece. Okay, so again, see, I don't care if it goes to the edges because we're going to paint and create and stencil and stamp and take care of that. I do want to make this a little more uneven. So again, just wet it and tear it. Okay, napkins. They have so many amazing napkins. You can do the same thing. Use that napkin art as your background to build on. Okay, so matte medium, my go-to for all my decoupaging, putting it in between layers on my pieces. If I'm afraid to add a stencil and I'm not sure if it's going to look good, I will add a layer of matte medium on top. Okay, so dry brush that's clean. Otherwise, I would take it out and put it on my palette. You can be generous with this. You want to smooth it out. It doesn't have a long open time, so if you've got a huge piece, you'd want to start at the top and then kind of work your way down so that it doesn't dry out. All right, and let's put that piece right about there. Okay. Now, I am one that I don't care if there's wrinkles, because guess what that gives me? It gives me texture, okay? But that did an awesome job of smoothing out, and I'll go back over it with matte medium. All these little bits, you can take, when it's dry, a little, this is just from the beauty supply store, kind of brush right down on that edge, and you get a nice clean little cut, okay? So I typically wait for that to dry because sometimes if it's wet, it will move. So yes, thank you so much, Robin. Yes, the matte medium is from the media line. I do carry the gesso and the matte medium on my website at a better price than you can get a lot of places. And then don't forget, you can use the discount code ART on my website for an additional discount, all capitals, ART. Okay, so I just wiped off the edge because I don't want that to stick. But we'll come back and put that right on top. And the reason we want to put it on top of our paper is we want to be able to move the paint and ink and whatever else that we put on it. If we just leave it like this and I start painting, that paper is going, because it's paper at the end of the day, it's going to absorb everything that I put on it. Okay? And I'm usually quite generous with putting this on. And then we will dry it. Totally agree, Linda, right? You know, it's having that color underneath that otherwise, if I just put it on the white, well, the thing is, if I put it on the white, it would have been fine too. I could add color on top. Hello, Pat Lynchy. So good you're here. So happy you're here, I should say. And then, you know that that edge that Chris Hoy kind of made popular, where you put that dark and then you can do a little white line on it. Tracy does it on some of her pieces, just to give that torn paper look. This is torn paper. So you don't have to do that look, but you can accentuate that if you wanted to. But again, this is on a Masonite gesso board from Jack Richardson. But you could do this on your art journal. You could do this on greeting cards. You can do this on paper mache. You can do this on wood. You can do this on canvas. So thinking outside the box and different surfaces. I remember I taught in Vegas, I think it was maybe it was the first year I taught an art journaling class. And one of the ladies came and said, the next day she found me and she said, my roommate was so mad that she did not sign up for this class, but when she saw that it was painting on paper, she was like, that's a waste of time. Until her roommate came back and showed her what we painted on paper. She was like, oh my gosh, those are amazing. I would love to paint those. So if nothing else this week, hopefully I will get you to thinking that there are other surfaces that you can paint things on. And just because in my group where the majority of things I paint are on a journal page, that does not mean you can't take it outside and do it on wood and many other surfaces. All right, so we'll take that off. Okay, I'm going to give that a little vignette look. Not sure if I'm going to do white or if I'm going to do black or Payne's gray. Okay, oh, it's wet up here. Rabbit holes are awesome. That's hilarious, Kathy. She said, once upon a time I collected shoes. Now my feet are old and they hurt, so I buy pretty paper instead. Absolutely. Thank you, Chris, for putting this. Hello, Rose. Good to see you on. So make sure over on that YouTube channel that you hit that thumbs up. I see 4 right now, but there's many more of you guys on. Okay. Oh, that feels so good. Okay, so now what we're going to do is I want to kind of take these edges away. So we will use a little bit of gesso and a palette knife. And I'm just going to kind of come in, because again, I don't want it to look like paper. It is mixed media. I want people to think that maybe I painted that peony. And I can paint a peony, but that was a lot faster, right? So I'm just going to take a little bit of gesso and kind of put that along the edges. We'll add some color in. If you get it on too thick and you're like, oh, I need to take some of that off, baby wipe. Baby wipe, baby wipe. Okay. Just look how the difference between that and how like this unfinished edge is. So this made it become one piece, whereas this, you can see that it's still 2 pieces. It's paper and it's a background, right? So that gesso is going to really help. Don't be afraid to use that baby wipe. Bring them together. Soften it out. Okay, so maybe a little gesso up here. Alrighty. Bye, Linda. See you later. Have fun weed whacking. I tried the hydrangea basket today and was so happy I did it on paper. and didn't ruin a surface. That basket was a holy mess. Now I can just gesso it and start over tomorrow. Virginia, I'm sure it was pretty. Don't be so hard on yourself. But I totally get it. Gesso became my friend, my best friend many years ago. Because again, it can enhance things. Like I did on, where did I put it? Let me see. If I, like here where I brushed it into. So a lot of times I do that to kind of break up a background or break up a piece and swipe it on. Again, mixed media is all about layers. So gesso is not just a primer. It is your best friend to fix and use in your creations. Okay, now, because we are painters and we want to take it to the next level, we're going to do that. So I'm going to use some stamps. And I have, this one is a Tim Holtz with that little cancellation stamp on it that I love. So we'll use some of that. And again, I don't want to use the whole thing, but I will kind of put some print here and there. Here and there, but not everywhere. Ah, I love that cancellation stamp, but I've got one right here that I'm going to use as well. Okay, let's maybe put one there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I think we're good. Alrighty, and then a stencil. So I do think, because I have that one there, I might use this. And I want to bring some of the greens out. So that pink in the background is great, but I do want to bring some green kind of to the forefront. So I think I'm going to add, what do I want to add? Where is, so this is lush green. Let's see what that looks like. Get my palette back over here. I was going to put it on my surface here, which is fine too, on my silicone mat. Thank you, Karen. Thanks, Chris. Again, just even that and sealing it, I think would make a fantastic piece. But we're going to get a little design going. So maybe a little, and we don't want the whole thing. We're just going to go here and there, but not everywhere. So see how I kind of jumped around so that that wasn't start and finish. Might do a little bit down here. Again, just a little bit of diamond action going on there. And anytime you put that on, you're like, I don't know if I like it, it's too bright. Paper towel will lighten it. If you do it right away, a baby wipe, you can get more off. All right. But I do think I want a little bit over here. All righty. So love that stencil. Okay. Now I'm thinking that it needs some shading definitely, but I think we might put a butterfly. So let me grab a couple of things and we'll see what fits best. Trying to grab this box of stamps. Hello. Another thing I love to use, guys, I still might want to use that, are stamps, like stamps. So when I was in Madrid, Spain teaching, we went to a little market and they had these boxes of used stamps, old stamps, and I bought so many of them. In fact, I need to probably start sending these out in little happy mail so that people can use them. But I have them from all over the world, and I separate them in little envelopes for all the different countries. So Austria, Netherlands, France. So basically they are just stamps off of letters. Some that were sent to me, some that I bought in huge packets. But anyway, so save those stamps, especially if it's a really pretty stamp that someone sends you a letter, which is kind of a dying art, right? Okay, let me see if I have any other butterfly that I want to use. There's a big one, but I think that's too big. Okay, I think we're going to go with one of the smaller ones to not overwhelm this piece. Sorry, that was very loud. If that cicada was smaller, I would use it because let me just tell you, are you guys hearing the cicadas? We are. So let's see, which one do I want to use? I think I'm going to use that one, and I'll put some color on it. Okay, but I still think I might use the other part of this paper. Metallic luster, baby. The green, right? Okay, so I am going to come in with a brush and just take off that part right there. Again, it's a very fibrous, almost like a mulberry paper is what it reminds me of. And it might be that, I don't know, but it's just got those fibers in it that I love. I have a ton of Japanese washi paper because I lived in Japan, and I used to cover eggs and boxes and ornaments and things with washi paper. It's another thing I probably should start sending out in Happy Mail. Just little triangles or squares or rectangles of it so you guys can use it. Because right now it's just sitting in a drawer. Okay, let's see. Not sure if I'm going to use it because I don't want it to overlap too much. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. We'll save that for something else. Because I don't know, pink, Parisian, that all goes. Yes. Okay, so going to put that on with some matte medium. Champagne ice is amazing. So is the espresso one. More of that brown metallic luster. Yes, we've printed on that too in our lessons. Rice paper we've used. You can print on rice paper. You can stamp on rice paper and make your own collage paper. Okay, so just another layer to that piece. Let's dry it. Hello, Lisa. Happy you're here. If this is your first time joining, guys, let me know. If you recently joined my membership group, let me know, because I know many of you are here. If you're in my membership group, let me know you're here, and let all the people know what you love about our group. One thing, because I have a lot of things. Okay. Alrighty. Now, if this was super bright paper, you could do a wash of gesso over it to take it down, but it's got such a pretty color, I'm going to leave it. And then, like I said, I'm going to do a butterfly. I'm thinking I'm going to put it probably there. So, stays on ink is Love from Alabama. Love you, Peg. You're always so supportive and sweet. Before you put that on a piece, if you're like, ooh, I don't want it to not be perfect, although perfection is overrated, I recommend that you print it on something else. Okay, so I'll just do it on a little Post-it note there. Okay, got good coverage. The other thing is you can put it on the back of that stays on ink pad. That drives me crazy to have a stamp pad or a, what you call it. I tend to use my fingers, but you can use that. The other thing is I want to be able to see where I'm putting it, and unless you have a clear block, like I do here, you can't see where you're putting it. So, okay, so I think I want to go a little above that cancellation stamp and right onto the flower. When you layer things, it just looks so much better. Awesome. Now, I think what I'll do, just for the sake of design, with my love of threes, that we'll do maybe a butterfly that comes off here. And maybe one that comes off and some on here. And Kathy said, I like to take your projects and challenge myself to add something of myself. Always love that. Your ideas inspire me to grow creatively, and I just love the group and you. I love you too, Kathy. Thank you. Alrighty, so let's put the lid on there. And I'm going to get out some quinacridone violet on my palette. I could use the red violet, but what I like about the media line is it's transparent, it's highly pigmented, it floats beautifully. So we're going to use that on an angle brush. So it's got the heel and the toe. We're going to load it on the toe, load up some of that quinacridone violet, just kind of pull it to the side. And we are just going to look like I painted this peony, right? Use your finger to kind of get in there, and you can always come back with, where is it? My mop brush, which is my medium soft flat top mop, IPC. Have those on my website. They make a fantastic mop brush. We'll just come in and float that color. Again, give the illusion, the appearance that we painted that. We are painting it. We just didn't paint the original. So Their brilliant artist did that beautiful peony on paper. But see how much now all of a sudden all those details are coming out instead of it being flat. I have found that I'm thinking outside the box more and being more free with my painting. I love that. That luster cream you can stamp with it as well. Yes, you can. You can thin it out on your palette and lay a stamp into it and stamp with it. In fact, I might see if I can do that with the green. Great question, Dixie. Okay, I'm going to rinse that. So Chris, mulberry paper. I used mulberry paper a lot when I was scrapbooking or doing cards. It's just a fibrous paper. It's very much like a rice paper. See how all those little details and floats of color change the look of it being decoupaged paper to being something painted. Think of napkins. And if your napkin is too bright, gesso can help you tone it down. There wasn't a petal there, but I felt like it needed it, so I just added a little shading on that petal, and it worked. And just like you would where things meet, you want to tone that down or separate them with your color. Here, where it kind of fades off, I don't want to add too much there because I want it to fade off into the background. Okay, back here, we'll just add a few little touches. Mixed media is definitely just like your decorative painting pieces. Anything you're painting, do yourself a big, huge favor. Step back and look at it from a distance. When we are on it, we see everything that looks wrong, and we want to fix it. But most of the time, it doesn't need fixing. We just need to see it at a different, from a different perspective and from some distance. Okay. Oh, I love peonies. And I love a good strong shadow too. Don't be a wimpy shader. You want to get those shadows nice and rich, separating those things. And I layer my shadows. So I kind of go light to begin with, but I might come back and intensify it. If you're afraid of floating, or if you're like, oh, that's such a bad word, give yourself a pep talk and say, I get to float today. I am so excited. And view it as a positive instead of, oh, I have to float. Why do so many designers and artists want us to float? Because it takes your flowers and your objects to the next level. So look at that one compared to that, right? Okay, so we will get, I keep going back up to that top color, but I want this quinacridone violet. And again, I'm just going to loosely, this one's just kind of a half flower, so I don't want to add too much detail to it. This is the star, this is the supporting actress over here, so we don't want to add too much. But we do want there to be a little dimension, little shape, so it doesn't stick out like a sore thumb. There's nothing there, but I'm going to improvise and create what looks like maybe a separation in petals. And then right off that edge of that surface. All right. Floating is so relaxing, and again, if you can get out of your head that it is that you have to do it. This is, you guys see how I'm floating, right? I am very loosely, it's almost like a little circular motion with my brush. Okay, what I feel, remember, I don't like the always and nevers in art. What I feel is when you do that, you get a much looser, better float than if you go like that. To me, that's outlined, okay? And that's how, the first time I saw floating, that's what was shared with me. And I'm like, to me, it looks like a line, even though my whole brush was flat. So just a loose little grip on your brush, and you're laying it in. The whole brush is flat though. Sometimes I'll lift up on the heel a little bit if I need to, but if your brush is not flat, you're not going to get that bleed. You're just going to get an outline. So you really want to make sure that that is flat. Your finger's also a great blender to separate those things. Okay, so, I mean, look at even just that deep, rich compared to how light everything else is. I love a nice, rich, deep float of color. To me, it takes your flowers and your pieces that you're painting to the next level. Can't remember who it was that said they love the dimension that I get with my flowers and things. And that's one of the reasons, is my floats are not wimpy. I try and really lift those pieces off the surface. Okay, and I could just keep going and going and going. Hello, Deborah Cross. Oh, Robin, you're so sweet. Alrighty. Now, when it comes to the greens, same thing. We don't want it to look like paper. So I'm going to come in with a little bit of, if I can find it. Thank you, Heather. A little bit of sap green, or you can use plantation pine. Ooh, let's shake that up. Thank you, Kay. I'm loving it so far. Okay, so I'm going to turn it so I can keep my hand out of the way. And when you're working on something this big, you can use a 3/8 angle, but it's always best to use an angle or the size that fits your area better. So on that big leaf, I will go to, if I can find it, a 1/2 inch angle. I was working at both my stations today, so my faux squirrel angle. Sometimes I move my whole jar, sometimes I just have duplicates. Okay, so sap green on the toe of that brush, but if it migrates over, that's okay. Add a little green there. There's a little green there, a little green there and there. For a leaf that you can barely see, same thing there. And then let's turn that. Now, the words, I want the words to be on top, so I'm going to stop and not go through that pretty paper there, but I will take the point of that leaf right off the edge. Okay, and then come up here, a little green. don't know if that stem is to there, but we're going to make it look like it's to there. And I have a little green. I'm just going to kind of pop in a little green here and there, just a little. Again, just to add a little bit of harmony. Dude, there's like a little line right there we need to fix. Okay, but the color I do want to use and bring in is a little Diary Light Yellow, which might surprise you, but we'll get a little bit of Diary Light Yellow. A little on the toe of that brush. Swipe it across the paper towel. And this just adds a little warmth to that flower. It kind of takes away that base coat highlight shade look where we've got highlight on the tips and base coating at the, you know, the base of it, and shading. This is just like a little wash of color here and there, but not everywhere. Oh, I love that. Get a little right there. Okay, now the next thing you can do to kind of take it to the next level is a little bit of white. So I don't have my titanium white media, so I'm just going to use DecoArt Snow Titanium White, and very little white. I'll work that in, and not all of them, but especially ones that I want to bring out a little bit more. You can put a little bit of white on the tips of those. Even in here, and not all of them, but maybe those front ones. So it'll push those back. These that hang down. Again, kind of taking away the look of that it was paper. So in my group, we do a lot of mixed media, decorative painting, techniques and tricks and things that my favorite thing to do is kind of take it to the next level. Cast shadows, things like this, little tiny touches that I love to do in my art, and that I get to share with my group. Again, swipe it with your finger. Best blenders ever. Do love my mop brushes, but okay, so see how that just, again, it starts to take it away from looking like you decoupaged paper on to you painted that peony. And is that cheating? No. It's playing and creating and having fun. All right. Brings the sunshine in, right? Yes, like it's been kissed with a little bit of sun. Get over here, we don't want to add too much. feel like this needs a little something here, like a little separation. So I'm going to improvise, do a little separation there, because I'm in charge of that brush right now, right? So I have to remind myself oftentimes, and I'll remind my brush, hey, I'm in charge. Okay. Thank you, Janet. Okay. All right, so the leaves, I will use my green gold. You can use like citron green or whatever to kind of bump up that color. Oh, thank you, Janet. We'll just put a little green gold. Again, bump up the color. I might put a little white with it to even bring that out more. These little guys here. So little green gold, little white. Get a little green there. Okay. Now, let's take care of those butterflies. I'm going to do a little bit of, I think I'm going to do a little phthalo turquoise, just because I think that blue and pink would look so pretty together. Primary blue would be a good substitute for it. I don't want to add too much to them. Again, I want that flower to kind of be the focal point. Hello. And it's got a lot of pigment in it, so you could also, just like I did the decoupage flower, you can print off butterfly clip art, cut it out, put it on your piece. Okay. Now what I might do with that blue is put a little on the leaves. Again, just adding to a little bit of that harmony with things that are in the background or similar colors. A little bit here and there, but not everywhere. Okay. One of my favorite things, cast shadows. And I like to do those with a flat brush, a very small flat brush, like a number 4 or number 2 flat, with Payne's Gray. I absolutely love Sandy's group. Everyone is so supportive. I've made new friends, learned so many things, and find myself thoroughly amazed at Sandy's talent. Joining the group was the best thing I could do for my painting and for me personally. And there's see more, but I don't think I could read it. So thank you, Chris. Okay, so a little bit of Payne's Gray. You can see there on my palette, and water. And we want to come in and give a little cast shadow to that butterfly. On the antennas. I want that to be nice and intense right there, where it meets that flower. Underneath the flower. That Payne's Gray just lifts. You can do it right on top of the petals as well. See how that just lifts it off the surface? It gives it so much dimension. Now when it comes to the leaves, I like to go short of that point so that it gives that illusion that it's lifted. Down here, I'll just do a little bit right along that edge. And that doesn't really have a stem, but I kind of want it to have a stem. So guess what? I'm going to make one. To there. I'll just soften that. Okay. Underneath the leaf. Payne's Gray in the media line is transparent. If you want shadows, that is the best. If you have no other colors but Payne's Gray, I always say you have to have Payne's Gray in your supplies. That's the whole reason I sell the media line, is it is my favorite go-to. And if you get too dark, just kind of touch it with a paper towel. Lift those butterflies up. I feel like this one needs a little bump in color, especially on there. Okay. And then let's do just a little decorative something on those butterflies. So just a little stylus, couple little white dots. I will say it's been extremely humbling and awesome to see how many of y'all have joined us. I look forward to seeing how many more of y'all will before Friday when the doors close. We have a fantastic group of ladies that will welcome you with, I'm from the South, so with a little sweet Southern welcome. But again, so encouraging, so helpful. So encouraging, just big cheerleaders for everybody. And my biggest cheerleaders, and I have to say that is, again, very humbling and makes me extremely emotional and proud of just, you know, the talent that I've been gifted with to share and educate. Okay, so, and I'm getting kind of deep there, sorry. We want to do a little bit with that body on the dragonfly. Hello. I looked at the stencil I have over here with the dragonfly on it. Do you ever do that? And then you say the wrong word? We want a little highlight. That one. We'll put a little shadow with it. Okay. All right, let's dry this. I love me some asphaltum too, don't get me wrong. In fact, let me show you. One of my favorite combinations is either that quinacridone violet, quinacridone magenta, and asphaltum. Because asphaltum is a neutralizer and it will take things down a notch, but it also will enrich it. So let me find, I know I had it because I used it earlier. Let's see, yep, right there. So just a little asphaltum, and I won't do it everywhere, but I will show you so that you can see the difference. So a little asphaltum. So see how that deepens that shading that floating. It's beautiful over quinacridone magenta or violet. Just makes it a little bit more earthy. Keeps the pink, but again, makes it a little bit more on that earthier side. So I'm just gonna kind of rub that in. Soften the look. You do want a little bit deeper shade in here. Alrighty. Now let's do a little splatter. So I'm gonna get this one is the same brush I used the other day that had glitter on it, but this one I marbled with DecoArt's water marbling. So I'm gonna get it wet, and we'll go to that quinacridone violet first. I like to splatter with colors that I've used in my piece. So we will do a little fly specking with that. You can use a toothbrush. I splatter it different ways. I do like the fine little splatter that gives. And then we will rinse that out. Pick up some white. And again, just add a little bit of splatter. Okay, if you don't want it someplace, you need to wipe it off while it's wet. And I don't mind it on the flower, but I don't like if it's just like one dot. Okay, and I could continue. I could go on and on and on with these highlights, with the shading. But what I wanted to show you tonight, again, decoupaging on wood, on your art journal, like I showed you with the girls that I did from the magazine. I will show you guys tomorrow night. I don't have that journal in here right now, but I even took a lady out of the Coldwater Creek catalog, and she had on a white knit dress, and I should have pulled that to show. Anyway, but I completely changed her look and painted her. So maybe I should do that tomorrow. What do you guys think? Tearing something out of the magazine like a lady and totally revamping her. Okay, look how pretty that flower just got. Oh my gosh. Love it, love it, love it. Again, anything you make brighter and wider is going to bring it forward, pushing all those other things in the back. However, it doesn't mean you have to leave them untouched. They can get a swipe. Again, to make them look like they're painted. Okay, let's take care of the edge. I'm gonna do one of my favorite things. I was thinking about white, but I actually think I'm gonna do Payne's Gray because I want it to really focus your eye in here. Let me take care of one thing first. I see I missed a little cast shadow there. Let's deepen that one. And I lay the palm of my hand because it's the quickest blender. All right, so baby white. All these things keep surfacing. I'm actually going to do a little green, gold, and white on a Mezzaluna brush. Wipe it off on my paper towel. And I'm going to add a little bit of texture to that leaf because guess what? That's going to make it look even more hand-painted. A little bit of a highlight on that side. cast shadow right there. Okay, now I'm done. Oh my goodness. Quinacridone. What's funny, Dixie, is when my husband does my packets, he'll edit my packets for me. And I can hear him in the room and he's going, quinacridone. Okay, so we're going to wrap that around our index finger. I'm going to put the rest in the palm of my hand. Pick up a little bit of Payne's Gray, and just like an angle brush, I'm going to work that back and forth. The moisture from the baby wipe is going to help us float that color along. You could always use a brush and float it. Originally, I was going to do white, like I mentioned, but I think this vignette look is just going to frame it in with that Payne's Gray, and it's going to bring out those butterflies a little more. So just round those corners. Always have your wrist in the inside of your piece. If I come out here, I'm going to get a very straight line. So, and I go over everything. Whatever is along that edge, if it's in the way, it's gone over. Because again, it's going to frame that piece in, give you a really nice vignette look. I'm just kind of zigzagging back and forth. You can build that layer up if you need to make it a little darker, but let it dry first and then come back and darken it. Okay. Now I want a little bit more splatter. So I'm going to do my traditional way. And that is with another brush, very inky paint. I just want some dots to kind of go with those butterflies. So I will do a little extra heavier splatter. And again, get rid of any of those dots you don't want that are just kind of errant. Let it sit for a second. And I think on Friday, we'll think about it. I'm not going to say that right now. I was thinking Friday I might do something with this piece for any and all new members. Let me get a little bit more white. Just because I see, where did I see the one? Oh, right here. Just kind of got lost. It's like a lonely little petal that needed a little color. Okay, how fun is that, right? From decoupage paper to a finished mixed media piece of art. Thank you, guys. Oh, I love it. I love it. All right, let's come back up here. Oh, didn't go. Hello. I learn something new every time I watch you and have been a member for over 2 years. Thank you, Pat. I appreciate that. It's always my goal. If I hadn't watched you decoupage it, I would swear you painted that peony. Awesome, Dixie. I love hearing that. Look how crazy my hair is. Yeah, that's the whole goal. That's the whole thing. Is if you've got a peony line drawing from free clip art, decoupage it on something and paint it. All you need is the shape. You see the colors, and you can go from there. So I might tweak this a little bit more. I see a couple places that could use a brighter highlight. That's always my thing at the end of anything I paint, is evaluating my lights and my darks and making sure they balance out. Sometimes fixing your darks makes your brights lighter, or sometimes fixing your brights makes your dark lighter. Does that make sense? So I tend to go with the one that in my gut is feeling like it needs a little oomph. And on this one, I think the highlights could use a little oomph. So anyway, thank you, Nancy. Thank you, thank you. Alrighty, guys. Kay, sorry, we don't do dibs. I'm sorry. I know that's a thing, but I like to be fair. And again, I am thinking, and maybe it's Saturday once the doors have closed, and I do it for all new members and do a drawing. So, or even my existing members. Maybe I should do that. New members and existing members in my membership group. So we will go from there. I will figure it out. I'm loving this piece right now. I just want to hang it up and put it on an easel. So thank you guys so much for joining me. Susan Rogers, did you see, where do I have those? You won one of the giveaways from last night. So not sure if you saw that, but message me and let me know your mailing address and I'll get those out to you. Okay. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you, Teresa. Don't forget, any information you need, you can message me. You can go to my website. You can email me at sandymcteerdesigns@aol.com with any questions you have about my membership group. The tab is right there. In addition to all of our lessons, we do Zoom classes, painted on shoes recently with my group. I just hope that you'll join us and have fun and create. You can join monthly, you can join yearly. Again, the doors close Friday at midnight Eastern time, and they will not open again until later this year. Before I leave, I have to share this opportunity with you guys. If you have not signed on to the Better World Challenge, go to decoart.com and sign up. I have to remove that. Let me just move that so you can see the decoart.com. Anyway, there are 2 ways that you can win up to $10,000 in prizes. And all you have to do is register, and you can upcycle a piece and video it, or you can just invite friends to register as well. They're just trying to get exposure for that incredible, amazing new Deco Earth paint. So again, make sure you go to decoart.com, sign up to register for that. And they put everyone that registered and does a piece into the drawing. So it does not matter what level painter you are. They're not basing it on that. They're not judging it on that. And I think that's fantastic. So thank you guys. Good night, Wendy. All right, guys, I'm going to leave you with that. Say good night. Get those brushes out. Do something creative. It's so hard to stop, right? It is hard to stop. But again, I'll just tweak it a little bit like I did that peacock feather last night and call it done and put it away. So y'all have a wonderful night. Get those brushes out. Do something creative. Get that paint out. If you're not feeling it, get out a journal page, a surface, whatever it is, base coat it, so that you can get that momentum going. Okay, thank you so much for being with me. I will be here tonight again at 8 o'clock. Same bat channel, same bat station on my YouTube channel and my Facebook page. All right, guys, see you later. Bye. And hopefully my hair will look better too.